Okay, Greg Pickle. Tuesday at the Big Ten Media Days here in Chicago.
Yep.
The lovely McCormick Regency Hyatt. I always get those things confused. It's the largest hotel, I think, in the world. It's definitely bigger than Beaver Stadium, I'll tell you that. But Penn State presence strong today with James Franklin and three players, Mike Gesicki, the very well-dressed Marcus Allen, and Jason Kabinda. What were your takeaways? We just met with the players. What were your takeaways from the three leaders of the Penn State team?
Yeah, no question. I think one thing that's pretty clear is that James Franklin has a message and he has a way he wants his team to view things. And those guys don't deviate from the plan at all. I mean, these guys are very good about not only staying on his message, but reiterating to their teammates what that message is. And really, it's quite simple. 2016 is here, or it was here. It's now gone. Nothing that happened then matters. The confidence that they took away from it was great. But at the end of the day, you got to go out and do it again in 2017. They got a lot of questions today about the sanctions and about coming through everything and sort of sneaking up on some people, and I thought they handled that well.
Right.
And they got a lot of questions, too, about just how good this team can be. And quite simply, they all said that, we're not looking ahead to anything but Akron, which is how James Franklin started today about 17 hours ago here in Chicago. And, that's just what it is. He has a message, and you can't – some of these kids, you can get them to sort of stray from what the message is. But these kids, they stay on it, they're good about it, and they only tell you what the message is.
He wasn't here, but I don't think anyone was referenced more than Saquon Barkley. I think we expected that. Any questions or any comments by any of the players, or were there any weird Barkley questions that you thought were asked?
No, not really. I thought it was pretty par for the course. I did find it was funny that Mike Gesicki was talking about his power clean. I think he said it was 380, and Saquon Barkley, Mike Gesicki was first on the team with 380-pound power clean, and then Saquon Barkley flipped up 405, I think, something along those lines. And Gesicki was just like, you got to let Barkley be Barkley, and whether that's on the field when he makes about 9 guys miss and scores a touchdown in the Rose Bowl, 71, 81-yard touchdown run, whatever it was, or if he just comes in the weight room, flips up 405, and goes on with his day. I mean, everyone knows he's a special talent, and it's really probably the takeaway at this point. I mean, there's not too many more ways to say it.
If he starts fast, Sandy Barber was here, the Penn State AD. She was kind of asked a little bit about, I'm just curious to see what the marketing campaign's going to be like for him. I know I don't want to get ahead of ourselves, but if Barkley is the Saquon Barkley that finished last year, especially against USC, I'll be real curious. I think the fans will be real curious to see what Penn State has dreamt up in terms of a Heisman campaign, because they've only ever had one Heisman Trophy winner, and they really haven't had anyone, Kajana Carter and those guys, they didn't really get rolling until midway through the season. This is a guy that I think is already on people's radar at the start of the season. 2 bits of news I think we should get to. Sandy Barber was asked about James Franklin and the contract extension that we all know is coming.
Right.
It looks like not much has changed since the caravan.
Right.
They're going to do it. It's going to take a little while yet. James Franklin said the priority all along for him was getting his key assistants taken care of, and that's led to part of the delay. It's definitely coming.
Yes.
He's under contract through 2019. I think it's going to be coming fairly soon. The other bit of news, I thought it's not really football related, you could speak to it, is that Sandy acknowledged that Cale Sanderson, the best wrestling coach in the country, bar none, has a new deal.
Yep. As for Franklin, I thought the most interesting thing about what he had to say was the fact that that part of the contract's done. And then he went off into talking about facilities and things. I believe his quote was, "We all the things we need to be the #1 football program in the country." And that's commitment for money. That's commitment for doing the things the way James Franklin envisions them. And it takes time and it takes money and it takes a lot of moving pieces for Sandy Barber to agree to a lot of these different things. So that's why it's taken so long. It doesn't really seem like either side's all that worried about it. As for Cale, was without a contract since June. He apparently just recently agreed to a new contract with the school. I think he was sort of the same way. Assistants and facilities were a pretty big deal, and what he was looking for. When they got to the point where it was the right place, they made it happen. You'll see the same thing with James Franklin soon enough. I mean, quite honestly, it could already be done. They're not talking about it like it's already done, but it's a good thing to announce if you need help in the recruiting department. Penn State currently the #3 class in the country, 20 verbal commits. They don't really need any help right now.
Greg Pickle, do you know what time it is right now?
It's 6 o'clock.
It's almost time to go to Wrigleyville.
That's right.
And that's a wrap from the Big Ten Media Days in 2017.